Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. Today, we just actually finished our meeting on finalising all the curriculum for Seller Sessions Live. And we're looking forward to delivering to you guys on May 10th. So welcoming back to the show, Andri. We've also got Sim here, and we also got Dorian with us, and Jeff's here in the background, but we'll get some thoughts from him in another podcast. But one of the key things I should be announcing now as well is that we've added to the lineup. So Dorian will be joining us. For you guys who don't know Dorian is probably hands down the GOAT when it comes to main images. Many people could test this, but everything's in the back catalogue and the work that he does. He's been doing this since 2015. One of his first clients was Ash Thompson, who's a legend in Amazon circles in terms of seller status. If my numbers are right, I think he ended up breaching the 100 million mark, and the guys can correct me here if I'm wrong. And he had an exit a few years ago. And I think the closest, as I've mentioned this in a clip before, the closest we've got to an Ash Thompson, who's very similar, is Sim, who's going to be our keynote speaker this year as he brings in the finale of Seller Sessions Live. So, guys, welcome to the show.
Hi, Danny.
A big intro.
Cheers, Danny. I'm not sure I deserve that intro.
No, well, it's true. You are sellers in the UK. You're highly respected. So, 29 days out. What's your thoughts, Dorian?
I'm super excited, especially joining such an amazing team. I've been working with Sim for quite some time, and you've mentioned the early days with Ashley Thompson, and sorry, Sim, for saying this, but you are kind of up there when it comes to the most successful sellers that I have worked with. And I'm super excited because looking at what you're doing and like the stuff that we've been exploring, the attention to detail and really understanding consumers and the click-through triggers and your creative mind, you have kind of like a left and right brain at the same level. And I think that's what makes sellers really successful. When they have the qualitative and the quantitative mind, and that's why I enjoy working with you, and I enjoy working with everyone. And also, I just want to say that I'm super pumped because everyone here is kind of at the forefront of the entire Amazon, the business of Amazon. Exploring the latest tools, the latest technologies, the SOPs. So what we'll be showing is really the freshest and the most the best approaches in terms of growing your brands and moving the needle in the right direction. So I'm super pumped and I can't wait.
Excellent. And over to you, Andri. You've been to a few seller sessions as well and the Christmas parties, and what's your thoughts 29 days out?
Yeah, absolutely. Super pumped because this is a new format. I've never been a part of a conference where it's extremely practical the way we're building it now. So I'm personally looking forward to this new format. I feel like it might become the new standard in the Amazon education system. And it's an honor to be a part of it. And something I love playing with is kind of combining the art and science of leveraging communities and actual humans. Sometimes sitting in front of the computer all the time, we forget that we actually sell to humans. But it sounds all fluffy until you start looking at the numbers and how much caring about your customer converts into making more money. So it's all about, in my mind, it's all about improving your click-through rate and conversion rate that helps with everything else in your business. And if you place the customer in forefront of your brand and do this scientifically, follow the process, it just becomes predictable and fun to play this game, That's why, super pumped to play this game with Seller Sessions, with all of these bright minds who, as Dorian rightfully said, everyone here is like at the forefront of what they're doing, super passionate, super in-depth. So that's how you get the best results out of the conference, having super strong team players.
Exactly. Sim, as someone who's been to many seller sessions, you're going from being in the crowd to the keynote. As the dynamics there for you? You looking forward to it? The change in the content side, etc.
Yeah, it's incredibly surreal. I've got to be honest. I was sat even in the old college hall, listening. When was that? 21 to 2019, something like that.
Mm.
To be on the stage this year is going to be incredibly surreal, to be honest. But a real pleasure. Appreciate that you've taken a real big risk here, and just want to just sort of let the people know that we're going to be throwing everything at this. That if anyone saw me talk at another event recently in London, the Carbon 6 event, I don't really hold back. Like, I'll share my own brands and all this stuff, and we even showed some smaller case studies that Dorian worked on for me.
Mm.
And just want to reiterate that we're going to be throwing everything at this. We won't be holding anything back. There'll be all the processes we go through, the thinking, even some case studies from my own brands again, most likely will appear. So yeah, just really excited to get started. And I just hope we do you proud, Danny.
Well, no, you're not doing me proud. It's the guys out there. I'm just a conduit, right? So I try and facilitate and put it on, and obviously with the shift this year, I'm back in what I believe is the future. This was because it's a collaborative effort. It's important to have people that are on the same vibe. Does that make sense? Because it's when you have speakers, they will provide their slide and their presentation, which is great. But it's fixed on that, right? And then what you're doing is you're piecing together these people and try and find a running order. Whereas with this, we've all built it from the ground up. Dorian, let's talk about images for a moment. We won't go and explain anything about the content, but we've got a set up for you to work with Sim. So it's going to be like picture within picture. So on the screens, while people working at their workstation, we'll try to keep it as an interactive experience. How do you think the nerves will be?
Mine? Depends if we hit a pub with Sim before. I'm joking, obviously.
Yeah.
I think, it's all about preparation, and I've been preparing for the last 12 years. So obviously nerves are always there. But I think I always approach any type of project with an open mind and knowing that nothing is ever perfect. So you can only iterate. That's the only thing you can do in terms of content: iterate and improve it.
Yeah.
So that's what I guess that's one of the things that I always try to communicate whenever I'm working with a client or doing a presentation is iterate and improve and learn. And so, if I make a mistake, we will learn from the mistake. If something's not going to work, we'll find out why doesn't it work. And it's exciting to find out these things, because if you find out if something doesn't work or doesn't look good or people don't like it, that's an opportunity to learn. And I think that's the most important aspect of my job: uncovering these things and improving.
Yeah. No, indeed. I think that helps change the dynamics as well, and it keeps everyone moving along at a steady pace. But of course, everything we cover are going to have walkthroughs, screen grabs and everything. So even if there's bits they wouldn't normally understand from writing down on like notes and taking pictures, when they get back home, everything there is step by step anyway. So some final thoughts from the guys. Sim, what would you want sellers to take away?
Yeah, so I think that the most exciting thing from this meeting that we just had prior to this recording starting was that Dorian and I had a lot planned, and we were pretty worried about how we were going to fit all of that inside. We've only got an hour, so we didn't want to waste any time. So what we're doing now is we're going to probably give the SOPs and processes behind a lot of the things that can be process flowed in the background, so we can just focus on the fun stuff on screen. So we hope that it's a mixture of both the technical stuff and then a really fun, interactive, I want to say presentation, but it's not, is it? It's more of a workshop, I guess, on the screen at the time. So I'm hoping it's entertaining. Honestly, as educational as I want it to be, I think we can make this entertaining and a really fun, interactive experience for everyone.
Yeah.
Also,
Sorry.
there's a obviously on Main Image Monthly, we focus on one product and we go deep on it. And while that's great and has its case, this is going to be a lot of different things that we've learned over the years or have tested ourselves, so we can really go wide here and show loads of different ways of thinking and a lot of different case studies.
Absolutely. Same question to you, Andri.
Yeah, I'm the most excited to kind of be in the room with all of the practitioners, actual operators, just like us here, following the process we've tested a lot and obviously always improving that process. And there might be opportunity to make it even better as we go live, rough, unfiltered, authentic, and figure it out on the way. But the things we're bringing to the table is essentially the step-by-step of what's been working for major brands that we worked with, our own brands. And the secret to Amazon, as we all know, is launching and relaunching. And that's exactly what we're going to focus on with this event, where the process you'll get at the end is essentially how you do that repeatedly, successfully, and have fun with it.
Excellent. And Dorian?
Well, I'll be supporting Sim here, and I think the one thing that I would like people to take away from seller sessions is the fact that perfect is the enemy of good, and looking at what Sim has already built and his processes, it's a muscle that everyone can develop. So I'll be the support, I'll be the help, showing you, how a brand can work with creatives to push forward and to improve certain elements of conversion, click through, and just sales overall. So that's what I'm excited about. Just in a way, showing actually how easy it is. Hopefully people will get that.
Yeah, indeed. Any final words before we leave?
I have a question to Danny. So Danny, same question you asked us. Like, what would you like people to take away from seller sessions in 2025?
If what I laid out with you guys, like the vision for it, I think if we get it right, it sets a new bar for education. So I better get back to work. Same as you guys. Time is of the essence. So thank you guys for joining us. Obviously you can hit up Sim, Andri, and Dorian, all their handles on LinkedIn. Is there any other information you want to provide before we go?
No, nothing much. Just get your ticket. I think it's going to sell out pretty fast from here, and join a pretty unique experience.
Dorian?
Same. I think the last 19 tickets will be gone by the end of the week, so just go and get them quickly.
And over to you, final words, Andri.
Yeah, excited to meet you all. See you all in London on May 10th.
Excellent. Guys, thank you for joining us. I'll be back here again next week. Take care of yourself and your family.